In the previous video, we got an overview of the Buzzy Figma plugin. In this video, we'll start using the plugin to create a small example application. Here I've got a simple screen design in Figma. For now, it's a simple splash screen. When I run the Buzzy plugin, it will give me a range of options, which will depend on both the current Figma page I'm running the plugin on and my Buzzy AI subscription status. For now, we want to focus on learning how the Buzzy plugin works, so we'll be running it in expert mode. To start with, I just want to get this screen into Buzzy. We'll open the Design tab. This is where Buzzy applies the data calls, functions, and behaviors to the app interface depicted in Figma. Note that clicking on a Figma layer selects it for the Buzzy plugin's Design tab as well. Below the currently selected item, we can see a list of all the Figma elements assigned Buzzy markup. We haven't marked up anything yet, so they're all empty. Selecting my screen frame, I can define it as a Buzzy Screen item of the type Start Screen. This is the bare minimum Buzzy needs to publish an app. When I publish this app, Buzzy will turn this Figma design into a Buzzy app, consisting of just this screen. A word on layout is needed here. Generally, you'd set up a Buzzy app design as a series of Figma frames such as this to depict your app's interface screens. Each screen can contain graphics, text, buttons, forms, fields, and other elements. The way in which your Figma design is put together is critical here. All the items in your screen frame in Figma will be translated into Buzzy the same way. This includes the nesting of the layers as well as the positioning of items relative to each other. For instance, if I resize this frame now, you'll see that my main icon remains centered. This is because it's nested inside an auto layout frame, with content set to center both horizontally and vertically. If I swap this to align top left, my Buzzy app will do the same. This applies to responsive layout behaviors as well. Buzzy will respect min and max widths set in Figma, as well as wrapping. The best way to think of Figma's auto layout is as HTML, CSS, flex containers. See our documentation for more on Buzzy and Figma layouts and responsive settings. Back to our sample app. Switching to the Publish tab, I can publish this screen as a Buzzy app. It will default to the page name, but you can change this. When I publish to a Buzzy app for the first time, I need to enter the Figma file key. This is basically the Figma file's share link and is needed so Buzzy has permission to read the Figma file. Just follow the instructions in the plugin. Once the app is published, I can preview it in a browser, edit the app settings and data directly via the workspace, or use the generated QR code to preview it in a browser on my device. A quick note on layout. We published this screen in the non-responsive mode, so it has the exact dimensions of our Figma frame and won't fill the browser window. We'll address this next. If I want to make changes, for instance, let's change the splash screen background and make it responsive to fill the viewport, I can simply republish my app from the Publish tab, and my live app is updated. And here's our updated app. It has the new background and resizes to fit the screen. In the next video, we'll be looking more closely at layout, adding some more basic screens, and enabling some simple navigation.